Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion today with Little G and I. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am super excited to have this talk today. I think, as I've been saying lately, the past few, both audio and video casts, I just love when the universe shines a light bulb on me, like for a video, because not all the time, but a lot of times it's exactly what I need to hear myself. And today's one of those days because, I wake up with a fast mind every day because I'm in the club, though some days are faster than others and tougher to calm my mind down and tougher to empty it out. And this is one of those days. In fact, it's why I left and went to the woods, not only to be here, but because I'm driving my husband a little nuts because I'm just so fast. I just can't stop talking, and I'm happy and everything. It's all good, but he's like, go to the woods, honey, calm it all down. You know what I mean? So I want to talk today about being present as being a skill and taking effort and becoming a habit. And I guess in some ways I could be sad because I think we used to be way more present, centuries ago, because it was it was a simpler life. I didn't say easier life, because certainly we think about dentists and just every day, especially for women back then, being wrapped up in just keeping the house warm and figuring out dinner without ice boxes. So every day you couldn't really store it up and take a break, that whole thing. So I'm not saying it was easier, but it was definitely more simple. I think we can all agree on that. And in today's, fast-paced, media saturated society, I'm just going to keep snowshoeing if that's okay. It's not simple. It's anything but simple. There's like a million distractions. And so I wanted to kind of talk about that. And Joe Dispenza came into my head just now because he actually leaves quite a bit of time to empty his head in the morning before he meditates. So even though most of us, or many of us, or I don't know, everybody's lives, I guess, I'm guessing that a lot of people don't have, all that time to leave for, but even just a little bit, because here's the main thing we want to talk about is emptying the mind. And we know that the mind is like the ocean with the waves, right? He goes, little G, he's just having a grand old time. It's kind of crusty, so he's got some good scratchies for his back. It's kind of good. All right, because really that thought chatter, which I'm having lots of today, even though I'm in the biz and know how to handle it and all that stuff, there are days I'm a work in progress like anybody else. So I thought this is a good time to do this video because my mind is so fast right now. And what some people don't realize about the Fast Mind Club, the ADHD, I don't like to say that, phrase or whatever that is, that label. If you're seeing all kinds of hyper on the outside, we're way more hyper on the inside. I'd rather say high energy, it's nicer. But I'm like amped up to here today, and it's not because of I don't even know, I'm just excited, honestly. I've got so many projects going on, and sometimes you just wake up that way. But anyway, so emptying out the mind is so important because realize, and Joe Dispenza talks about when he says overcome ourselves. I think I take that as being the same as overcoming the thought chatter. I don't like to really say overcoming ourselves because our authentic self is whole and complete. I think it's just rhetorical, but overcoming that thought chatter. And I also like what he says about the knowns will take care of themselves. So he talks about it as like being the bills. We're not saying bills aren't stressful and having enough money. We're not saying all that. But the fact is, one way or the other, they'll take care of themselves. And, also returning emails, Zoom, meetings, and all these things that are all tangible. And he's right, they will all take care of themselves. And so if we're going to have a mindful 15 minutes, a truly mindful 15 minutes while out in the woods or even doing the dishes or sitting with tea, just staring out, into your yard or in your apartment with a nice, nice inviting space, we won't be able to do that if our head is full of all the cognitive tangibles, the bills and the appointments and the who you have to respond to and who you have to call and all that. So it's really important to empty that out and know that it will take care of itself one way or another. And I'm not dismissing money being tight or anything. It's certainly been there. I think many of us have at one time or another, or more than one time or another. With 5 kids, certainly we did. But we're not saying that. We're just dismissing it for now because there isn't anything you can do about it in the next 15 minutes usually, right? If you can grab 30, the more the better. So to overcome that thought chatter, ride the wave and say, okay, it appears I'm anxious today, or it appears I have a very fast mind today. And then that will calm down. It'll allow us to calm down so that we can enter this place. We can enter. Now, I was just going to say, oh, sorry for the wind. And I catch myself when I do that. Why? Because I can't apologize for the wind. And why would I? You know, it's nature. It feels good. So anyway, so we enter into this place of feeling present, because only when we're in the moment are we living, for one. I mean, it's like the biggest deal. But also, if you're a creative like I am, I'm constantly doing stuff, you know, YouTubes, and I'm currently writing a book and things like that. When our mind is just so overtaken by thought chatter, none of that's going to happen. And even if you're just talking about not being so much creative, but just being productive with answering all this stuff you have to do, if you're just all wrapped up in the chatter of got to get this, I got to do that, I gotta, it's going to take you, you know, 3 times more the time, 3 times, that didn't make sense, 3 times longer than if you shelf it for the next 15 minutes. And just say, for the next 15 minutes, you're not getting past this gatekeeper, all the thinking, that for the next, set a timer even. For the next 15 minutes, you're not getting past the gatekeeper. I'm going to take this 15 minutes to calm my mind. And then when we do that long enough, like anything else, it becomes a habit. It becomes habitual, which means it becomes automatic. And the really good news is that when we keep that up, and that's not a lot of time, you can spend that much time on the potty, you know what I mean? And if you have to only cut it to 7 minutes, I mean, like my older son says with the fitness stuff, any minute's better than no minutes. Forcefully carve out that time, and it can be tough. You know, I think back to, you know, being a young mother. I used to make jokes about carving out 15 minutes of self-time. Like for me, it was hot baths at night. My husband was home, and it was just so good because I could have the 15 minutes while he, you know, took care of things. And I used to say to young mothers when I've done various workshops and things, and also not just related to that, but that was what's coming to my head right now, is that when you're in that place, you've got to schedule quiet time, me time, you time, as if it were a dentist appointment, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Because otherwise, life, just like when you dig a hole down at the bottom by the beach, like where the water comes up, when you dig the hole, it fills in, right? And there are other examples to use that in a better way, but it's going to automatically fill up. If you don't carve out the time, like I am at this minute, it's going to fill up with something. The phone's going to ring, texts are going to roll in, emails are going to roll in, people are going to talk to you, your mind's going to wander and land on, you know, binging on Instagram, you know, reels, whatever. And so we have to actually make a declaration, prioritize ourselves. And we talked about the priority word a lot, right? Back in the 1400s, very important. The word priority was singular. There was no plural with priorities. Priority meaning the one most important thing to you, where all your energy's going. And that can be fluid and shift throughout the day. And for right now, my priority out here is calming my own mind, because I'm just really racy today and it's exciting. I just have a lot of stuff going on. And so that's it. So we want to carve out the time, schedule it like it's a dentist appointment, even if it's 15 minutes a day, or if you have to start with 5, start with 5. Know that whatever we practice, we get better at, and it becomes easier. And that's it, because until we overcome the chatter for the day, we're talking about one day at a time. One thing I love about the recovery program, the 12-step program, is I love a lot of the one-liners. And one day at a time is a really good one, and so is keep it simple. And easy does it. I like that one too. But for today, most of us can handle the goings-on in one day. You know, obviously big things happen once in a while, but in general, life is not an emergency or even an urgency, right? So let all the knowns just dissipate and go away for 15 minutes. They'll all be there when you come out of it. Take that 15 minutes for yourself and know that it's a little deposit in your self-esteem bank too, because I say this to my Minecrafters. Just said it last week, actually. For some of us, it's really hard to take care of ourselves, and it's easier for us to take care of other people than it is ourselves. And each time we do something really small, like take 15 minutes to be in the woods, or just a quiet spot in your apartment or house with the phone shut off and thrown in a sock drawer, so it's totally just you and a book, or just you and a candle, or whatever, that's a deposit in the self-esteem bank, because we just did something to take care of ourselves. And then that makes the next time you want to be good to yourself and kind to yourself and love yourself even easier. Okay? So that's really it. Be present and make it a habit. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off with Little G at the Notch in Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day and take care of you.